Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast, Becoming a Giant. I want to start by saying good morning, good afternoon and good evening to you wherever you are. Today is a wonderful day. It is costlier to lie than to say the truth, and that is why it is often said that liars must have good memories. Since I lost my sight in 2014, if I'm asked to be truthful with regard to whether I have missed anything or not, my answer will be capital yes. What have I missed? I have missed seeing the beautiful face of my loving wife. I have missed seeing the beautiful faces of my children. I have missed being able to read books the way I used to. I have missed being able to travel independently on my own within the city where I live, although I managed to navigate on my own within the house. I have missed driving my beautiful car. I have missed, being able to go to the store and do window shopping. So I have missed all this. All the things that the eye can see, I have missed seeing them. Is that the end about life? No, that is not the end. I have missed all these things, but I still live my life comfortably and with excitement and joy in my heart. So the pertinent question to ask again would be, how do you cope with life, missing all these things you have mentioned? Yes, the truth is this. I accepted my situation just the way it is. I did not waste time trying to fake it to make it. I accepted the fact that I am blind. I cannot see with my naked eyes. And because of that acceptance, I was able to manage my situation creatively. Denial, they say delay, they say it's not denial. That is true. Delay is not denial, but denial can be destructive. That is trying to fake it to make it. That is not advisable at all. When you accept your situation the way it is, you know everything about it, then you will be able to manage it creatively, and in the end it will appear as if you have lost nothing. That is my experience. I said I missed seeing the faces of my beautiful wife and children. Yes, but I still live with them. I hear their beautiful voices. I can touch them whenever I want to. And because of the acceptance of the fact that I cannot see them with my naked eyes, I was able to switch over to the other senses that I have, which is the sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of hearing. So, and with all this, I'm able to manage my condition, which is blindness, creatively. Being able to manage the condition makes it look to me as if I have missed nothing. let me say this. We look more with our eyes than we see. And the energy we invest in looking is more than the energy we invest in seeing. So what about if we can only concentrate all our energy on seeing? That means a lot of energy will have been saved. But only the wearer of the shoe knows where it pinches. Experience is the best teacher. I'm able to know this because of my experience with blindness. There is no point denying the fact that I am disabled. Not denying it makes me to understand that disability is not the same thing as inability. It is not. You can be disabled in an area, but that does not mean it's an inability. It doesn't limit you in any way. It may take time for you to do one thing that someone with sight can do. So the only difference will be the time it's going to take you, which will be more. But that does not mean you won't be able to accomplish. I may not be able to read, read books in the conventional way, in black and white. But with the help of my talking book, at least, I can read any kind of books that I want. And what is important is comprehension. Whether you read it in black and white or you just listen to the audio, the most important thing is for you to comprehend what you have read. That is the acquisition of knowledge. Knowledge can be acquired in different ways. It could be done using visual aid, and it could be done using just audio aid. It's a matter of choice. But the truth is that you have nothing to lose doing it your own way. Even it takes you more time, the important thing is the end result. And that is why denial is not the best. Just accept your situation and be truthful about it. And with that, a lot of energy will be saved. That is critical. Going from one place to another, I cannot drive. I have said that. That's one of the things I'm missing. But does it matter if I drive or not? As long as I can get to the destination that I intend to get to. That is what is important to me. So while on the road, being driven by another person, I do ask questions. And that is why, I appreciate God for the intelligence that I have. I will ask questions about why is the car stopping at this point? Oh, the answer may be because we are at a traffic light. Okay, understand. So I understood. Then I may ask question and say, what street are we? Oh, they tell me you are on 38th Street. Okay, what part of 38th Street? Okay, this is where we are. This is where we are. So from that information, I'll be able to process, that information and convert it into knowledge. That means I will have known where we are on 38th Street, especially on roads that I have, that I was used to before I lost my sight. So if such are the roads, then it makes the acquisition of information easier for me. So I may not be able to see the roads, but I asking questions, will leave me with the information necessary for me to know where I am. So there is no point denying, what you don't have. All you need to do is to use what you have to get what you don't have. That is very important. Another thing that is key, to the ability of surviving and living well with your disability is for you not to be offended in God or in yourself. That is where self-pity comes in. Self-pity is living life in hell while on the earth. So you don't need to self-pity yourself for anything. As long as you have your life, there is hope for you. Don't get offended in either God or in yourself. When you start, feeling bad about your situation, thinking that this situation, might be as a result of your mistakes, of your wrongdoing, of your sin, then you start, pitying yourself. You start, getting offended in God. You don't need that. All you need is to appreciate God for what you have. And with appreciation, life becomes easier for you. You will have that sense, of understanding that everybody has one problem or the other. I may be blind physically, but all I know is that everyone is blind in one way or the other. So where we are blind may be different because we all have our blind spots. That is key. Appreciate what you have, and when that is done, you'll be free from anxiety. You'll be free from frustration. That is very important. Living your life to the fullest with your disability is a possibility, as long as you can keep to all these important things, that I've touched on. That is, accept yourself for who you are. Accept your situation for what it is. Don't deny anything. Be real to yourself. Don't be offended in God or in man. Avoid self-pity. As long as all these things are in place and you have understanding about the consequences of these actions that I have mentioned, it will be very easy for you to live your life to the fullest. What is important is joy. Joy is different from happiness. Happiness can be as a result of what you have and what you don't have. But joy has nothing to do with what you have or what you don't have. Joy is only dependent on God. Having God, gives you the fullness of joy. And with joy, there is nothing you cannot achieve. With joy, you can draw out water from the wells of salvation. With joy, you can function effectively, even in the face of disability. This is very, very important. Living well and happy with disability. I have been in publishing business before I lost my sight. But to my greatest surprise, I'm still able to continue with that even when I have lost both of my sight with no usable vision available unto me. One thing we don't understand is this. Experience is always the best teacher. When you are told something that you have never experienced, it takes you longer time and more energy for you to be able to comprehend. But when you are in it, the wearer of the shoes knows where it pinches. Your imagination ability, the ability to imagine, increases when you are blind. People who are sighted, will consider barriers in terms of distance, in terms of obstacles, in terms of cost of what it takes you, to go from one place to another. So all these things are part of, the factors that will come to play when trying to process an idea. That is, it is from the physical to the spiritual. But when you don't have sight, it goes straight into the spiritual, because you have already bypassed the physical, because the sight is no longer there. Then you now realize that you can imagine better than those who are sighted. Why? Because you don't have any barrier, because there is no barrier in the realm of the spirit. Imagination is a word taken from image. Just like God imagined the whole world at the time of creation. When you are blind, your sense of imagination increases. Then you'll be free from all limitations while you think. If you are thinking of the kind of house you want to build, you will not be able to look at other houses that have been built for you to take, a cue from, or for you to, get your own picture from. Because you don't have the ability to see the physical, all you will do is to see the pictures that are presented to you in the spiritual, which is your mind. And the kind of pictures you see with your mind will be original. They are original, incorruptible images, because you are not limited by sight. So you will see original pictures that no one that is sighted can easily imagine, are the kind of pictures you'll be seeing. And it is your picture that determines your future. Anything you cannot imagine, it will be difficult for you to manage, such. So there are benefits that we enjoy being disabled. I am not, suggesting that disability, is the best thing that can happen to any man in life. No. That was why I, first of all discussed those things that I am missing. But what I'm saying is this: things that you have available for you, not being able to see with your naked eyes, are more than those things that you are missing. That is just the truth. And I want you to understand that you don't have anything to fear. You don't have anything to fear, as long as you have not lost yourself. People who are in difficulty, people, who are challenged mentally, the only problem they have is losing themselves. Just like we read in the Bible about the prodigal son. This guy left his father's home with all his own inheritances which he collected. He went to, a new country and lived a riotous life. He squandered all that he left with. But the most interesting part of the story is that they said one day he came to himself. And the moment he came to himself, he was able to return to his father. And got restored. So coming to ourselves is key. But more importantly, we should not even lose ourselves in the first place. So disability is not the end of life, because as a matter of fact, the end of one thing is the beginning of another thing. So I thank God that I have this understanding, and that is why I'm able to manage my life, to manage my situation creatively. The magazine that I publish this magazine without any usable vision. So what I do is to first of all imagine, what I need to put out there. The pictures will be painted to me, and the moment the picture is painted to me, all I will need to do is to speak that picture out into reality. And that's what people see in the form of a magazine. I don't know, I cannot see color, but I know all along people have been, praising God for what they see as our output in Living Hope International magazine. So don't be offended in yourself. Don't allow yourself to be overtaken by self-pity. You don't need that. You don't need any self-pity. You are a complete human being. Even in the face of disability, you are still complete. Life is about fulfillment. How you get your life fulfilled is not what is important. Getting it fulfilled is what is important. So many people who have sight, fail in one way or the other to appreciate the potential that they have, because having sight does not guarantee seeing. Most people look and don't see, and until you see what you want in life, you cannot assess anything. You remember Jeremiah was asked about what he saw. He said he saw the rod of an almond tree, and God said to him, "Thou hast seen well, and therefore will I hasten my word to perform it." Seeing well is what guarantees being able to live well with your disability. We look more than we see, and we waste more energy on looking than on seeing. Seeing is better than looking, because what you see is what you can assess. And as a matter of fact, we don't see with our eyes, we only look with our eyes, we see with our mind. I've had interactions with drivers in the past, about their experiences while on the road, while driving, even at night. Some will tell you they have their eyes wide open and still they fall asleep. You will see their eyes being open, but they are already asleep. So you stay awake with your mind. You can open your eyes and still not see, but there is no point in waiting to get blind before you can see. So this is an opportunity that is being presented to us once again, for us to take charge of our situation, for us to be confident in ourselves. What are some of the benefits of disability? Being a blind man I can tell you for free that blindness has helped me in the development of patience as a virtue. Even faith can only deliver with patience. Look at the life of Abraham. God promised to give him a son at the age of 75. But this promise did not come to pass until when Abraham was 100 years old. When all facts, biological facts about him being able to give birth have been eroded. But he was so patient. He was patient enough to wait for the promise. So blindness automatically, encourages us to develop the virtue of patience. Why? Because you do things slowly. Because you don't want to get injured. You don't want to bump into things. And that is why they say slow and steady wins the race. But in the kind of world that we are in today, which is fast-paced, everybody wants to get things done quickly. That does not apply to the blind man, especially when it has to do with physical manifestations. You are faster operating in the realm of the spirit, in the realm of blindness, than operating in the realm of the physical. But when it comes to the physical realm, there are so many barriers, obstacles, hurdles that you have to cross. So blindness comes with patience as its benefits. That is key. Another important thing that can be classified as one of the benefits of blindness is humility. Greatness is in meekness. Even God guides only those who are meek, in judgments and in his ways. So humility is a great virtue. In it lies greatness. So blindness contributes, to the development of this virtue of humility, in the sense that there is no way by which a blind man will not need help from another person. You will definitely need help, as a blind man from another person. And that is why they say we are who we are because of others. Man is man because of others alone. Man is an animal. Blindness helps us to appreciate others more. We appreciate others more. We know we need others, in our quest to get one thing or the other done. For instance, if I need to travel, from my house to, meet up with an appointment, definitely I will need someone to help me. I will need someone to help me to get into the car or to drive me to my place of appointment. So ordinarily, people who are sighted, are prone to arrogance. You think you can get things done by yourself. You don't need others. And that is not true. God appreciated the need for companionship, and that was why he was able to create, a woman for the man. He did that for the sake and purpose of companionship. So two are better than one. So blindness, helps us to appreciate and develop the virtue of humility. And humility is greatness. That is very important. Again, blindness takes away from us all physical and geographical barriers. That is, what the sighted will be considering as obstacles, in developing a plan, and getting his vision actualized, will, is automatically removed, from someone that is blind, because you don't have that capacity or ability to look at things, to judge at things using your sight. All you need and all you have is your mind to work with. So rather than depend on, external factors to get, one or two things done, you depend on your inner strength. You draw strength from within. You engage your mind most of the times. And in the realm of the spirit, there is no barrier. You can sit down as a blind man and draw a picture of how you want your world to look like. And the clearer that picture is, the better and easier your future will be to you. So you are able to get a very good and original picture because you are not distracted. You have 100% concentration on whatever thing you do as a blind man, because distractions come to us more often than not through the use of our sight. We look more than we see. And that is why the psalmist says, "Take away my eyes from looking at worthless things." Most of the things we look at are worthless things. He said, "Open my eyes that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law." So, one of the benefits, of disability, especially blindness, is that it grants you access into the realm of the spirit. There is no barrier in the realm of the spirit, and for that reason you are able to imagine, you are able to meditate better, because every distraction is taken away. So you may say distraction can come through hearing. Yes, that is true. Distraction can come through hearing, but even what you heard will need to be processed in your mind, because the final place of processing, where you process things before they are released into the world, is your mind. So it's your mind. So what your eyes see, you have to process it in your mind as well. But it's easier to be distracted just by what you hear than for you to be distracted by what you see and what you are hearing. So the blind man is at an advantage position, because if that be the case, he can only be distracted by what he hears, and not by what he sees and what he hears at the same time. You look at things, you look at beautiful things, you may not need them, but you can get tempted to want to have them just because you see others having them. Although one can hear that some other people have so and so things, but you don't see what they have. You don't see what they have. So your level of distraction is limited by being blind. So what I'm saying is that there is nothing that is completely bad, and there is nothing that is completely good. What is important is our ability to know what we want, why we want what we think we want. That is key, and that is why God has given us the intelligence. So I am, letting you know that you can live well, you can fulfill destiny with your disability. Disability is not the same thing as inability. You can do things with the help of God as long as you are not offended in that God. You need help from man, but the help from man is limited. God is the only unlimited one. And if you are not offended in him, your help is guaranteed. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Becoming a Giant. Please, I invite you to visit our website at giantability.com. There you'll be able to read the latest edition of Living Hope International Magazine. You can also read the previous editions as well as the post that will make available on a weekly basis. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to all our social media platforms. Till I come your way again next week, be blessed.